This podcast is presented by Zack Labs, Cosbon, the instant costume adhesive. Have you ever had issues using materials to build cosplay costumes, theater props, or everyday repair? We have the solution you've been looking for. Zack Labs proudly presents our latest product, Cosbon, the instant costume adhesive. What you get is a 8.5 by 12 inch sheet. You simply peel off both sides much like you would double stick tape, except this isn't that. This is our patent-pending microfiber-infused adhesive that has a tensile strength of up to 100 pounds. This unique adhesive sheet is instant, and boy, do we mean instant. Activation is different than other products, as ours works purely by pressure. Simply peel and stick, applying even force, and it bonds. Instantly. It's human-safe, non-toxic, pet-safe, no fumes, and the best part, it won't ever stick to your hands. Rated for up to 75 wash cycles before starting to give. Great in the cold, rain, and even the heat. Stick anything to almost anything. Metals, plastics, most cloths, and best of all for all you cosplayers and costume builders, is all of your foam materials. While it does stick instantly, leave it alone with a bit of pressure for 24 hours and it cures to even stronger. So wave your magic wand and just use Cosbond, the instant costume adhesive. You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, and gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Joining me also, as always, is the Buster of Knuckles, the Stallion of Stallions, the faithful steed, and the bouncer of podcastness, Mike List.
My titles precede me now, I guess.
I'm just going to keep adding to them.
Oh, okay, cool. I kind of felt like John Stark. I was like, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, Fork Fam, I am, I feel like a person who has done physical activity that doesn't not constitute in coffee, but has yet energized me all the same. So I was going to go, we're actually going to go to Jessica's gym this morning, but that didn't happen because Shark Week struck. So that didn't happen. But then we also were at a party last night that lasted till like 2 a.m. And then I roll out of bed and it's like 11:05 and I get a text from Jessica's dad. And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, what have I forgotten? And he was like, hey, will you meet me over at the outdoor mall park to go walking for the Pokemon Go Community Day? And I was like, oh my God, it's 11:05. Shit. So I was like, hey, babe, do you want to go? And she was just like, nah, 'cause things. And I was like, okay, cool, babe, I got you. I'll say hi to your dad for you. And so I got my shit together, slapped a fucking bagel with cream cheese together, grabbed a bottle of water, grabbed some vitamins, and do you know what the vitamin niacin is? Or
Oh yeah,
niacinamide?
yeah.
Yeah.
Warms you up.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's extra warm if you haven't had any in a while or consistently. So I popped 250 milligrams of that, which, well,
Oof.
I mean, it was rough, but like it's the kind of day over here in Washington where I went outside and your nipples cut holes through your shirt.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and throw my Under Armour on. So I threw my Under Armour on. I'm wearing a red shirt. I'm still wearing it right now. Actually, I've got a classic shirt, Mike. It's a picture of Professor Oak from Pokemon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got a bunch of Pokeballs, and his mouth is in kind of like a yelling fashion, and it just says "Bitch be tripping balls."
A good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. And so I jogged my ass over to the outdoor mall there because it's the Pokemon Go Community Day, which I've never attended before. I have Mike. And for any Pokemon Go players out there, I suggest that you do too, because when I got to this village, there was like 100 fucking people. Like I saw shit that I haven't seen since like Pokemon Go first came out. Like I saw a grandma walking down the street with a arm strapped, like she made it herself out of like duct tape and yarn clipboard that had 3 cell phones on it, all running Pokemon Go, and then she had like a hand case for like a mini iPad on her other hand, also running Pokemon Go, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean, I saw.
Granny's logging in some steps, folks. She is hatching eggs.
Yeah, no, for real, dog. Like,
Now, Tim, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I am an avid Pokemon Go player as well.
Yeah, you are. You haven't fucking taken my fucking gift that I gave you.
Oh yeah, I don't because I'm emptying out my eggs and I can't take 7s. But here, I'll go cash in right now.
There you go. You should do that.
You asked me to. But with the Adventure Sync,
thank
I
God.
just have it running all day.
Yep.
God
bless Adventure.
I get like 60 kilometers in a week at least.
Yeah, let's see. I'm
hatching eggs every break, folks.
I didn't hit 60 kilometers this week because work was a little slow this week, but I did I capped out at 38.5, which is still pretty decent.
That's respectable.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I see fucking 60 and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, right?
Like every break I'm hatching eggs. Every break.
Oh, I believe it, man. I believe it. But man, yeah, no, I saw people out there with the new Pokeball Plus.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Gotta admit, real life, I mean, like, I don't like hold it or nothing, but like I saw a bunch of people have had it. I gotta admit, like it looks really small, actually. Like it's
really
real small. Like you chopped a single Joy-Con in half, small, and then just made it spherical.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But yeah, no, so I was out doing the community day, did like 6 raids, tried to stomp a gym, caught a bunch of shit. I traded with Jessica's dad because he's all about the Pokemon Go life. She showed me shit that I did not fucking know.
Really?
So did you know that there is an appraise function?
Yes.
In Pokemon Go.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that there is an app called PokeGenie, where you take a picture of your appraised Pokemon, and then you enter in some numbers based on the appraisal in Pokemon Go into this PokeGenie, and it will tell you and calculate its max potential, like CP rank and defense, and what moves it should have on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew this? So
I knew that.
Okay, well then fuck me for not being ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you can check their values and stuff to see what their max is. Yeah. It's deep, folks. It's not just about walking.
Yeah, true. Not just about walking. You gotta catch. You gotta be in the right locations. You gotta complete those quests. Yeah, it's an interesting experience,
Yeah.
and I guess it's something that I'm gonna do. Um, but yeah, to give you an idea, like, okay, so let me ask you this: what's your highest CP Pokemon off the top of your head?
I think I got something that's like 3,000.
Okay. What's like, have you battled in raids?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What's the best Pokemon you got from a raid?
Think I battled for a Mewtwo once and didn't get it, but I think the best thing I've gotten from a raid is my Gyarados.
Okay, you got a nice high level Gyarados.
Yeah, my Gyarados is 27.
Okay, cool. I have a Gyarados that is also 2782 actually. My highest is a 3045 Tyranitar,
Nice.
which is
I'm
pretty
working
cool.
on a Salmance personally.
Cool. So take a wild guess at what the highest CP Pokemon Jessica's
Am I
dad
gonna be
has.
angry?
And then also take a wild guess as to how many fucking multiples he has of that said Pokemon.
Hmm. Probably 20. Probably 5,000, and he has three of them.
Okay. So here's what it was. It was a 4,500 something Mewtwo.
Mm.
And the dude had so many Mewtwo's that when he flicked up the screen, it kept scrolling. I lost count.
Wow.
Yeah. This this dude this dude plays Pokemon Go for keeps.
Hmm.
Man, like like
Yeah, he doesn't
it's
play
pretty great.
games. Just-
Wow, that was interestingly loud. Do tell, what was that?
That was Discord.
Oh, I've
Like
never
so far
heard.
this week, I've worked 35, 35.6 actually.
Okay, very good. Well, anyway, that's my Pokemon Go report, and it's cold as balls in Washington right now.
Yeah, I hear that actually.
Yeah, because it's
It's
probably way worse
yeah, it's way worse.
over in your neck of the
It's
woods.
like well, today it's 50, so we're good.
Oh well, that seems pretty all right.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Is it like a cold 50 though, like with like wind chill or whatever?
Yeah, it's like a 30, 31, 50 though.
Mm-hmm.
Because the winds are whipping.
Yeah, sweet. Um. Oh no, my my spinner ring
Oh no.
is not hanging.
Well,
Oh no! Oh no! There it is. Ha!
breaking news,
I'm a
Tim. I don't know
genius.
if I don't know if you've seen this or not, but George H.W. Bush died a few moments ago.
Senior?
Yeah, senior.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's. I mean, that's definitely newsworthy.
yeah.
Well, shit. That sucks. I mean, he must have been up there, right?
He was 94 years old, sir.
Jesus, just a shade shy from Stan the Man Lee.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it like a peaceful thing, or was he fighting something?
I don't know. It might have just been old age. 94 is a good. I mean, 94 for an ex-president is fucking amazing because that job is pretty
Is that a
stressful.
record?
I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Presidents don't live long. Let's be honest. All that's a lot of stress you're carrying.
Oh. Lot of stress. You gotta
Tons of
click those
stress.
buttons super loudly. I get you. Tim's producer side says, winking and hinting at Mike.
Well, we can get into that when we get into video games. Why this is happening?
Okay, fair enough. I'm just gonna Google it real fast. So,
Yes.
George Bush Senior dead. Let's see, for your first president. Okay, here we go. CNN article says, I didn't know he was a celebrated World War II combat pilot.
Yep.
Huh. Oh, his wife passed away this year as well, April 17th, at age 92.
Wow.
Wife of 73 years. Holy, that's a marriage, right there.
Yeah,
that is some dedication.
Holy shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's impressive. Oh, so okay, dude definitely has balls. So apparently there's like a whole thing here. So, on his final day, Bush was asked, according to a source, whether he wanted to go to the hospital. And the former president said no, and that he was ready to go be with Barbara and Robin. I don't know who Robin is. Barbara was his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know who Robin is. According to The Alive, also former President George Bush, according to a phone call, he told his father that he had been a wonderful father, and then father said he loved you too, and then he passed. Apparently.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's kind of a legit way to go. I mean, yeah, person, but I'm sure, like he was ready to go, and
yeah,
George Bush Jr. was elsewhere, so So yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh, so he had a daughter, Robin, who died of leukemia as a child.
Oh.
Oh man, that sucks. You cheering up, man?
Dad things get me sometime.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, because I lost
I know.
Losing your dad kind of tough. So
yeah. Well, anyways, I think we could all have a little moment for 41st president of the United States. Many consider to be one of the great presidents. Whether you agree with that or not, the man was still a president of these United States and deserves, at the very least, a modicum of respect, if not more. So, moment of science, good sir. And very good. He will be missed, and he served his country both in war and as president, and is obviously survived by Senator Jeb Bush and retired former president as well, George Bush Jr. I do believe. I think as probably as a generality, my understanding is that he was a pretty good one as far as presidents go. So yeah. Okay, cool. George Bush will be missed. Lived a life, hell of a life.
94 years. I mean,
Yep.
That's a good long life, folks.
Yeah, 76 of those. Marriage. Yep, that's
dedication.
That's some stuffs. That is indeed some stuffs.
Spin that ring, brother. I mean, that could be life, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I got going on in life. You got anything?
Decorating for Christmas has happened.
Oh, okay, it has not struck home here yet.
Thus far, we have watched A Year Without a Santa Claus, The Miser Brother Christmas, Elf 6 times,
Today's time.
I
Okay.
snuck in Die Hard once just
That's a
because, and she was
good
like,
night.
"This isn't a Christmas movie." I was like, "I beg to differ."
I agree.
Uh,
Die Hard is a fucking
she
Christmas
she
movie.
humbly acquiesces because she loves Christmas so much, and she's like, "Whatever. If you think it's Christmas, I love you." That's what
Mm-hmm.
she says, and I'm
Okay.
like, "It's a Christmas movie. I don't care what you think."
Yeah.
Um, got the tree up, got the lights on, didn't get the bulbs.
You go real or you got a nice
Well, I go
fake one?
fake. Yeah, we
Okay.
got a nice we got a decent fake one.
I don't begrudge anybody a fake one.
I mean, especially with Pete, that's our main
Oh
concern
right.
because Pete's a fucking animal.
That makes more
Yeah,
sense.
like that's not a joke. He's a goddamn direwolf.
Oh yeah, indeed. Indeed.
I gotta post more pictures of the pup on our discords though,
Yeah, you do.
because he's huge. He's he's a big bitch, Tim. Let me tell you.
I've heard this.
Yeah, he is a big. He's a. I think we weighed him yesterday, and he weighed in at 100, like on the dot. So Pete now weighs 100 pounds. That's something.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's spin this ring and get into the rest of this week's topics.
Yeah, man.
All right. We have landed on. Oh my god! I hit the wrong thing on my phone. All right. So technology. I only got 2 bits of technology this week.
All right.
One, Microsoft has won a $480 million contract to outfit the U.S. Army soldiers of the future with a military-grade Microsoft HoloLens augmented reality tech for combat.
Ooh.
So essentially, if anybody remembers Tom Clancy's Advanced Warfighter,
Yeah.
this is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or like
That sounds like to me.
or like a heads-up display in any kind of first-person shooter military video game.
Yeah, like a personal onboard targeting computer.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
or like it can like point out. I mean, I don't pretend to know exactly how good this tech is. I've heard it's quite interesting. But yeah, no, I mean it could be really cool. Basically, RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. There you go.
Yeah. Beep 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 beep. Fire.
Yeah, exactly.
RoboCop. Well, the other bit of technology that I've got is it's also kind of like a life thing too. But so me and my Jessica's Apple Watches Series 4s have come in, and we've been wearing them all week. Came in on a Monday, and I gotta say, as a former OG Apple Watch lover, until as we all know, my original Apple Watch caught fire.
Yeah, you have to say it like that.
I mean, it did. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that it did not catch fire. I mean, it didn't hurt. The fire was internal, but the screen caught fire inside. So it's like a little paper fire behind a glass screen on your wrist. Only ever so slightly scary. But I've been rocking the Series 4. And I gotta say, Mike, it's like going from a Ford Festiva to a Ferrari in terms of a leap.
Yeah.
Both performance, just like all the features, like it's so damn fast. The speakers on it are actually really quite incredible. The whole thing where it like can pump out water, like when you've been in it with a shower, is, I mean, it sounds kind of dumb and stupid, like when you say it out loud, but it's like, well, actually, it's kind of a practical feature because like it's got like a water mode and it like locks the speaker to prevent water from damaging the speaker or whatever. And then when you're out of the shower, you press basically this teardrop button, and then you have to rotate the crown, and then it makes like a weird bass noise, and then you see water flecks like fly out of the speaker hole. And I'm like, I'll be damned.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah. And I mean, you can do that for like like a really intense workout, like if you're super sweaty, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. These watches do have EKGs on them, but they're not yet enabled. My understanding is they're still working on the software, but the actual hardware is in the watch itself. And the tech rumor actually is, I guess, midweek Apple Store employees got like a brief pamphlet for how to teach people how to use the EKG feature. So if they're getting briefed this week, it probably means that feature is dropping next week.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a thing that can actually detect if your heart's in atrial fibrillation or irregular heartbeat, and can actually, like, monitor your heart. So for a younger guy like myself and
cool
Jessica,
shit.
like, it can legit, like, tell you if something's wrong with your fucking heart. like this is the kind of future we're heading towards, Mike, where your fucking watch can tell you,
be like, hey Tim,
if shit's wrong.
Are you fucking or having a heart attack? We need to know.
So I gotta say, because this is something that I did when I was the only Apple Watch user in our household. I totally ran the workout app during Pound Town time.
Mm-hmm.
And, not too long ago, we both ran our workout app during Pound Town time.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll let anybody's imagination lead that where it will.
So who works harder? You can't tease that shit.
I mean, all I'm saying, so for those who don't know, the built-in software that tracks your thing tracks it by 3 rings that close in a circle. You have a active calories burned, active workout, and then it also measures your standing time, of which apparently, according to, like, I don't know, doctors or some shit, you're supposed to stand for, like, I don't know, like 10 minutes, like every hour, to help with your posture. So you have a red ring for activity, you have a green ring for actual exercise, like, like that you select and go, all right, this is workout time, and then you have a stand ring, which is blue. My rings were not closed before sex. They were closed after sex. You could put that what you will. Anyways, it's super awesome. It's got a walkie-talkie feature, which I'm finding is super useful for work. As people know, my girlfriend is now my office manager for my day job, and as opposed to like a text or a voice text or even a quick phone call, like, I just pop the walkie-talkie app and it's just a big ass button. You push to talk just like a walkie-talkie, and you're like, hey, is the blah blah bid ready for the blah blah? And it goes bloop on the other watch, and then they get it, which is really cool. Really useful, actually, for working purposes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, super cool. The other big thing, which is a big thing for me, having come from the original Apple Watch, is, so the original Apple Watch for me would get about 16 hours to maybe 18 hours before it was like straight dead. Which is pretty decent battery life for a smartwatch, or at least one that came out in 2015. This fucker is a goddamn champ in the battery department. Let me tell you, from actual real world use, and I was totally a power user of my original watch. I can go from 6 to midnight, and this fucker still got like 45% charge.
Yeah, like you called. We had a phone conversation.
Oh, that's right. We had a phone conversation. Yeah, Mike you called me Tuesday.
Oh, what? Yeah, it was Wednesday. Correct.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, you called me Wednesday, and I was like playing a game, and I just had my. Yeah, we did like an hour and a half conversation. Yeah, and then after the fucking phone call, it was just like, yeah, what do you want to do? I still got battery for days, bitch. That's what my watch actually told me. It literally reached down and it just told me that. But no, seriously, the battery life is, like they say on like all the official Apple publications that it's like all day battery life up to 18 hours. But in reality, having used it for phone calls and texts and GPS and workouts and stuff all fucking day long, you're really getting close to like 2 full days or at least a day and a half before you got to charge it, which is fucking phenomenal in my opinion. Because get this, Mike, the battery, both size and capacity, is about half as small as the original Apple Watch.
Wow.
I don't know what that means, except they're doing some fucking voodoo shit with its power consumption. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just fucking awesome. It's great. Yeah, Apple Watch Series 4. It's fucking awesome. That's what I gotta say. And Jessica came from a Fitbit family, so she's had like Fitbit Surge, Fitbit Charge, Fitbit, whatever that one is. It's got the weird aluminum octagon, and then you like put the smartwatch in the square. It's pretty popular. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it's called, but she's come from a lot of Fitbits before, and she's like, "Yeah, this is way better than all those things." And for her, because she also likes to exercise, she was saying that the accuracy of the tracking and the ease of doing different workout activities and it tracking it correctly is way better than the previous 3 Fitbits that she's had.
Wow!
So figured I'd throw that data into the ring since I've never owned a Fitbit. So, although I did, feel free to complain at me, Burning Wing, because I know you're our Fork Fam resident Android expert, but I threw a really snarky, like, no bestie comment out when she told me that like her workout accuracy was way better, and it was just easy to use and just like in every category performed better. And I was like, yeah, because you had a Fitbit and now you have a smartwatch. That's the difference. I was kind of a dick about it. But let's be honest. Is it being a dick if you're right?
Yeah, you can still be a dick even if you are right.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that was technology. Well, that went fast. Did you have any technology bits you wanted to throw out there?
No.
Nothing. All right. Well, let's get a moving on here. Okay. And we landed on... All right, video games. A lot of stuff going on in video games right now. Mike, why don't you go first, buddy?
I've been playing the new release of Destiny 2. The Forsaken, before the Black Armory drops on Tuesday.
Is that this Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the breakneck auto rifle, the Gambit Pinnacle weapon.
Okay.
I got that today.
Cool. Groovy. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't know. It's good, I guess.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. What would you compare it to from the D1 Armory selection?
I mean, it hasn't come out yet, but from what we've seen,
I see.
It has it comes out on Tuesday.
Okay.
It has a bunch of new exotics, a bunch of new weapons, 3 new houses that make the Black Armory weapons. They got a goddamn Mega Man gun hand. Like it's a fusion rifle that is on your hand instead of you're not holding it. It's a part of your armor.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That was in the trailer for it, right?
Yeah. On the Vidoc. Yes.
Yeah. So, full disclosure, everybody knows, especially Fork Fam on our Discord, Tim has soured on the Destiny franchise in probably the last 6-8 months, something like that. I watched the Vidoc and the release trailer, and I gotta say, there were more things in those trailers that made me kind of perk my ears up a bit than I saw for the Forsaken stuff. And I know that's probably controversial because everybody loves Forsaken, and obviously from people who've actually played it, it's supposedly really, really good. But what they showed in the Black Armory, at least for whatever it is that tickles my fancy, it tickled my fancy a little bit. And I was like, oh, that looks good. And I like what Bungie is saying about their game.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good signs. That's good signs.
Yeah, I mean,
What caught your attention?
I liked the armory things. I liked that it looked like they were showing more. I guess there's like a new zone or something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
And I mean, I thought the weapons looked cool. And then the other big thing for me was the way they were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like it just sounded like, maybe they're like actually prepared to have their shit together, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure obviously the argument is that they got their shit together for Forsaken. But, again,
I would argue such things, yes.
Yeah, and I know you would, like my only knock here's my biggest knocks against Forsaken. What they showed me before it came out, none of it really interested me besides Gambit. And then I played Gambit on their freebie days, both the pre-release one and what have they had, like 3 since launch, something like that.
Yeah.
And the pre-release one was really good, and I was like, oh, this is a really cool mode. It's got a lot of potential. Then the one after launch, where they had 2 of the different maps in, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then the latest one they had, like at the beginning of November, end of October, where they had all of the Gambit maps, and you actually fought the Forsaken, which was kind of a nice tease. I didn't find fighting the Forsaken interesting to me. And that was something that, yourself and other Destiny people have said is like, oh yeah, fighting the Forsaken, it's really cool. And I was like, it didn't, and maybe that's in the context of like how you fight them in Gambit. Like maybe it's more different in the campaign, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm just saying what they had to display as new enemies that I was able to fight in Gambit didn't seem different enough. Like they were different in a Siva kind of way, not a Taken kind of way. And I feel like the Taken enemies are kind of underrated because it's like, yeah, okay, fine. You could totally say Bungie reused player asset or enemy assets and then put like a glowy coat of paint on them, except their actual attack functions were wholly different than what they normally would be. And that was cool. Versus when they did Siva, and it was like, okay, well, they're like souped up and they're glowing red and they have a couple of different attack patterns, but it wasn't that different. I kind of got a Siva vibe from my own personal experience with what I fought of the enemies in the Forsaken Gambit mode. So that would be I mean, if you want to get down to like a what didn't feel like, now's the time to jump back into Destiny kind of thing.
I mean, I disagree.
That's fine.
Wholeheartedly.
I know. We talk about it all the time.
We do.
Yeah. I know. Okay,
I want my buddy back, goddammit. I want my road dog. We could be playing right now. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I suppose so.
But, I mean, I think it's worth it, man. Like the story was good. The continuation, how they, it was wrapped up in a nice little neat bow. It was just everything they've added. Dude, Gambit is so fucking fun. I played 40 matches in like 2 days to get this goddamn auto rifle.
Yeah.
Because, and they added pinnacle weapons, something else for you to grind for. You know what I mean? Like,
what's
might like PvP. Oh, you don't know? Okay.
I don't. I've never heard of that.
They have pinnacle weapons now. They have like for PvP, they have the Luna's Howl and the Not Forgotten hand cannons. They also
Okay,
have
but what does that mean? Are they like a masterwork weapon? Like, what's a pinnacle
they're
weapon?
fully masterworked. They're a curated role. They're fucking amazing. Like this auto rifle for Gambit has
Are they all exotics?
no, they're all legendaries, so you
Oh,
can
okay.
run an exotic.
So basically, a pinnacle weapon is a curated legendary or exotic.
It's a legendary weapon, and it's really good.
Okay. Is it like a midway between an exotic and a legendary?
I mean, they're. I would I would say they could probably make it something like like it keeps up with exotics. Put it that way.
Okay.
Like
So maybe like some of the better D1
yeah
legendary weapons that definitely felt super exotic-y. You know, like some
like
of that raid gear.
like this auto rifle, for instance. I'll just use that because this is the one I have at the moment.
Sure.
It has a rampage and a new perk called onslaught.
Okay.
And what onslaught does, it increases the rate of fire and precision damage for every stack of rampage, and you can stack up to 3 rampage stacks.
Okay.
So this thing jumps like it goes up significantly on rate of fire. It shoots like 750 rounds per minute at the end.
Oh, I gotcha.
So like they're constantly. It's like playing with the gun makes you it's an ad killing machine basically. It's so good for Gambit, it's ridiculous.
Okay. Sweet.
And for strikes, there's a fusion rifle called the name is the loaded question. That's what it is. It's called the loaded question.
That's a good name
and
for a gun.
fusion, yeah.
That is definitely a good name.
The perk actually plays off that name as well because it's a high impact, so it's the slowest charging, but it hits the hardest.
Yeah.
And if you shoot someone with the top round from a magazine, so if you're fully loaded, it explodes. So it shoots like a glob.
Nice.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
And they added a grenade launcher also as this season's pinnacle. It's a primary grenade launcher that shoots straight and fast. So it's basically a handheld. It's a mini rocket launcher.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right on. So in other expansion stuff, also speaking to things that I have played, because I spent about 4 hours on it last night. I've played the new oh mother of fuck. I'm fucking totally
Visions?
No, the Sea of Thieves update. Shrouded Spoils. Played the new Shrouded Spoils update. I gotta say, so Mike, remember the early days when we were the Wolves of the Sea?
I do.
And we would be, sailing, and we'd be doing great, and we'd be in our sloop, and we'd be kicking ass and taking names, avoiding bigger galleons, and having a good time. So, so I was swimming up with a buddy of mine, Daniel, and so we were doing a really basic bench mission. So he just got the game, so all of his stuff's like he's not even rank 5 on anything, right?
Yeah.
And so we were doing like a the mystic tent. Where you get like the bounty to go get the captains.
The skulls?
Yeah, I fucking forget what it's called. I'm terrible.
Okay.
I'm a terrible person right now. And so we were doing that, and we were on a real tiny island. Like super tiny, like just so fucking tiny. Like our sloop was bigger, and half the island was underwater because of the tide.
Oh God.
And so we were killing these skeletons, and we're feeling real proud about ourselves. Or at least he was, because this is all super new and shiny to him, right? So it's still got that, oh my God, everything is amazing thing. Like,
oh, okay. So he's still wow about it.
Well, yeah, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I've done this particular thing 1,000 times, and I'm on the lookout for any of the new features when they pop up. The first thing that I was able to test out was the new radial cannonball menu, and I know you've not played this since then. So basically, you have inventory spaces now, in your menu because they added cursed cannonballs back in Forsaken Shores.
Okay.
And cursed cannonballs can be everything from, if you land a hit with a cursed cannonball, the opposing crew has to do a jig for 30 seconds, which is great because, then they're basically AFK for 30 seconds. You can do whatever. You can hit them with an anchor ball, which will cause their anchor to drop. You can hit them with a mast ball, which will not allow them to turn their mast. Or another one
Wait. So what you're saying is, like, a cannonball that will, if somebody's running from us, we're the wolves of the sea.
Yeah.
People run from us. I can hit them with a cannonball that makes their anchor drop?
Yes, sir. There's also a grog ball, so you hit them and everybody on their ship's thrown up. And drunk, by the way. There's another one that puts everybody to sleep for like a full minute.
Oh, God.
There's another one that makes you do an anchor turn. There's another one that poisons you. There's like another one. There's like a whole bunch of them. I'm not sure the entire list, actually, to be honest, because they're an RNG drop. They're a random drop.
Oh, okay.
So you find them. You find them
just
with
like where you would find cannonballs.
Yeah, and cannonballs and wood, regular cannonballs and wood and bananas.
Oh no, shit.
Yeah, but it's cool. So when you load them up, like the way they distinguish themselves, and it's also a giveaway when you're looking at an opponent ship. So when you're holding them, they are like a glowing orb, basically, and they're different colors. So like a grog ball is like a smoky puke green, and it's like glowing, like it glows in the dark. So if you load it up in your cannon, it's got a little ever so slightly like smoke trail to it. So if you're like coming up on like another sloop or something, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm totally coming up on them. If it was a regular cannonball, you don't know if their cannon's loaded or not. You don't know if they're going to fire. But if you see that suddenly their cannon has a little itty bitty trail of smoke of a certain color, it's like, okay, they've got a fucking cursed cannonball loaded up. They're ready to rumble. Think something that's like it's obvious, like having a lantern on in the distance, especially at nighttime, but it's like maybe -10 as bright.
Okay, so it's recognizable. One could see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Now let me just tell you, I've been keeping it, Tim. Just because I don't play something,
I know.
don't ever for a second think I'm not keeping up with the tunage. Okay,
I'm just telling you.
I know also, good sir.
Yes.
That they have added different types of megalodons.
Oh, you should let me finish my story, good sir.
Oh, well, then I am.
So, because you were with me when we downed the megalodon, right?
I was.
The OG
Remember,
megalodon.
I jumped up. Oh, dude,
it was one of the most amazing
boom,
things I've ever done in video games.
I killed it with a boom boom barrel.
Yeah.
Remember, because I swam in its mouth and it killed me, but then the barrel was right there, and you were like, dude, perfect.
Yeah. So check this out. So they added mega boom boom barrels.
Shut up.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like a regular boom barrel, but it's got like the do you remember the when we'd clear a raid, a Skullfort raid, and like the stronghold chest looked like a regular chest, but it had like cool bones around it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
this one has oh no.
Yeah, so take a regular boom boom barrel. It's not ×10, Mike. Or I'm sorry, it's not ×5. It's ×10.
Oh, it's 10. Oh.
Yeah, so you can insta down or almost down a galleon with it.
Shut up.
Yes, sir.
So I could do Sneaky Pete, Buster Boom Boom.
So get this though. So it's a risk. It's a triple risk reward item. So first of all, they are not random drops. If you kill a legendary sea creature or if you finish a raid stronghold, you are guaranteed to get one. But here's the risk reward. It's worth a guaranteed 10,000 gold.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Risk reward. So it's like, oh, do you want to risk that one thing? And then also the fact that it does 10 times damage. So, if you're on a sloop or the new Brigante ship.
Oh, they brought back there's a new ship type?
Oh, Jesus, Mike, you don't know?
Well, no, Tim, I'm just trying to
Okay.
you know,
Okay. Yeah,
dig
no.
in. I didn't know it's a 3-man, right?
Yeah, it's a 3-man.
3-man, 2-mast?
3-man, 2-mast. And it has one full deck below. Yeah. It's
Full deck?
Yeah, it's got a full deck. Like, okay, you know how like the sloop has like you go down and there's that little itty bitty area where you drop your quests and you look at the map, and then there's like a cargo hole that's smaller, but you go down 3 times. So the Brigante, you go down once and everything's on one floor. Like basically if you smush the bottom 2 floors of a galleon together. That's basically what the single floor below deck is in the Brigante.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not bad. That's
Yeah.
kind of that's a big ship.
It's definitely bigger than a
That's
sloop.
a good size for a 3. That's good for a 3 because
Yeah.
I mean a galleon with 3 is hard. It's difficult.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's definitely meant for a 3-man ship. I kind of feel that it's a little on the bigger side for 3 people, personally. Because like, so how kind of like on a galleon, the helmsman has control of his back mast and steering the ship, and then you definitely need at least 1 or 2 people on anchor duty and mast duty, right?
Yeah.
So
they got to be constantly talking.
Yeah, so the helmsman has control of the anchor and none of the masts on the Brigante, which is a change up from the way it is where you would have control of the mast and the anchor on a sloop.
Yeah.
And also different from how it is on a galleon, which is the 4-man ship. So I found, at least with the crew that I ran last week, oh yeah, I guess I actually didn't talk about any of this because this was after we recorded the show.
Yeah.
Was when I played. Yeah, so we played the Brigante for the first time, and we played it for, I would say we played for a good solid 6-7 hours.
So who's we? Paint the picture, Tim.
Okay, so Brock.
Okay.
Got on Jessica's account because he doesn't have an Xbox. So he played Jessica, and then a new friend Daniel, who's actually husband of Jessica's best friend Sarah. He's like you when it comes to pirate's life. He is all about the pirate life.
So you're telling me we have a galleon now?
Oh yeah, I am definitely.
Because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're telling me we got a goddamn galleon crew right now, my friend.
I'm telling you, we could have a galleon crew. And I would almost prefer that to Brigante because, okay, so the basic gist of how our days went in the Brigante crew was, we would get raped by other galleons. We got killed by a sloop. We lost all of our loot 6 times, either due to thieving or bad happenstance. And then we got fucked by one of the new islands.
A new island?
Oh, yeah, you don't... Okay, so...
I haven't... I mean, I know they did a content update.
Oh, yeah. So, the map has a new chunk. I would say, like, basically just add a new quarter of the main map.
Okay.
Actually, it kind of makes the map look a little funky. So, you know how it was kind of like, map size? Mm-hmm. So basically just add a new square that's 1/4 the size of the main map to the bottom right of the sea. And that's the Forsaken Shore update.
Okay.
And it's basically hard mode. Like, going into those waters is hard mode. And I'll tell you why, Mike. So, first of all, it's volcanic. So if you're just cruising by an island, just an island, like you don't even have to be near it, and that bitch erupts, you've got fucking hailfire meteor explosions happening all around you in the water, and you better dodge and weave your ship, or your ship's gonna take fucking a single boom boom barrel damage when one of those lands. Yeah,
it'll just erupt.
Oh yeah. So all the islands have volcanoes on them. Yeah. So I'd seen them in the distance, like erupting and whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I hadn't been near one, and like I'd read the update, but it's not the same as experiencing it, you know. Mm-hmm. So we found a message in a bottle, and we had a quest to do on one of these new islands, and I'd never been on this new island. And so, and this is the other thing. So there's NPC quest givers on islands now.
Like on random islands?
Yeah. Okay. So, we had a weird messenger bottle that was like, go to blah island and meet with like shifty-eyed Paul or whatever the fuck. And so we get up on the island. And we're like, okay, where the fuck is this guy? And we're like looking around on the island. And it's a big island. And we're like, man, I don't know. And I'd never been there, so I was like, I don't know where to look. And we're looking around, and we find him. And he's on a little dock that we hadn't seen on the other side of the island. And we're watching this volcanic mountain that's on the island get steamier and steamier. And we're like, okay, that's interesting. And then an earthquake hit. And we're like, what the fuck is happening? And then Brock was like, brah, I think the volcano's about to fucking explode. Let's get back to the ship. And I'm like, okay. And so we talked to the dude quickly, and our quest was to get 3 crates of like special cured rum, basically. Because like there's a bunch of new items to get and sell and stuff now. And so these crates just look like open bottles. And get this. Some crates and merchant stuff are now reactive. So like these crates of bottles, we were walking back to the ship with them, and then the earthquake happened. And we started running, and because we ran, our bottles started breaking. There's like, it's like a box of 12 bottles. And we're like, oh shit, I'm breaking the merchandise. Fuck. And so we run back to the ship, and then like we all get on the ship, and the volcano erupts, and we're like, oh fuck nuggets. And we're like, oh, we're okay. And we're like trying to get out of this harbor, but the Brigante, the wind was not in our favor, and we're having a hard time getting the fucking Brigante. It was basically beached. And we're trying to get it out of there. We're like, oh, fuck. And we get hit by a fucking volcano meteorite. And we're like, fuck. And then like all of our cargo breaks. It's just a box of broken glass at this point. And we're like, fuck. And...
So they added breakable gear?
Yeah, so they got breakable glass. So you got to be more careful. But it's like, it fetches a higher price. But it's got like... It's... Because you know how they don't have too much UI? How I think it works... This may not be how it actually works. Is like, so you got like a box of 12. You can see them moving about, like physics and all that stuff. And like one of them breaks. So I think it's basically like a meter. You get a certain percentage of non-broken. But they also added like fruits and vegetables in crates. And you got to water them or they go, they wilt.
So how do you get water with your...
Oh, just your bucket.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you just bucket. I mean, it's not really realistic throwing salt water on fucking plants, but, whatever. But anyway, so we get hit by this volcano. This meteor, we've got like fucking 4 holes in our Brigante, and we're like, okay, cool. And then we're like, okay, let's go down and fix the ship. All hands on deck. We've got 5 holes. We go down, and we start taking damage. And we're like, what? And then we realize, because we're near the volcano, the fucking water is boiling and doing damage over time. So we're trying to fix the ship, but we're like all burning because we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Told you. It's hard mode, Mike.
Oh, dude. So is the treasure better there than like
Oh yeah.
the normal world?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a very high risk area. Like it just is. It's not a friendly place. Like everything is hostile to you. So we were trying to fix the ship. We fixed the ship. We're bailing the water out that's burning us and doing damage over time. And we're like, oh, this is fucking bullshit.
Is it damaging you guys or the ship?
Us. As we're trying to fix it. So we've got holes in the ship, which is bad, leaking water. We're trying to put up a board, but we're
the
like,
water's hot.
Yeah, and we're singeing ourselves. And our health is just ticking away. Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you one question this will definitely hinge on bringing me back to even considering playing.
Okay.
Is ship customization better?
Oh, yes. In fact, it got even better in Forsaken, and it got better just a couple days ago with this new update. So you can customize your top flag, your crow's nest flag.
Okay.
Was that in last time you played?
The Timmy Todd flag, the one you can put like yellow or like red, blue, like the skull.
Yeah.
The gold hoarders. Yeah, I was there for that.
Okay, but did they add the flags that actually do something?
No.
Okay, so they got flags that actually do something in game. So there's a white flag with a heart, and basically you can get near another ship, and if they've got that flag raised, you can basically go in a menu and join crew.
Oh, nice.
So you can form fleets on the fly.
Shut up.
Yep.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So we could just sail around just one piece in the world.
Yeah, you could, and everybody shares loot.
Now, can you attack, do you have to go into the menu to break that, or is it just attack them and it's over?
No, you have to break it in the menu. Well, it's not really a menu. Like, if the flag is up, you're basically partnered in-game, and it shares the loot. So anywhere in the world, if they drop off, they could be doing quests, and they're getting loot, and you're sharing stuff.
So you could separate and just run the oceans.
You could fucking rule. You could literally be a pack of wolves in the sea, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Okay, so there's two other special flags. So there's a red flag with kind of the Sea of Thieves logo on it. And this will turn your sails into like a glowing flame red, like your main mast sails, and put you on the map for anybody in the whole world to come find you. And this means two things, Mike. This could be two things. This could be, hey, everybody come to me, and then we'll talk about forming an alliance. Or it could be, everybody come to me because I'm the most badass motherfucking pirate, and I'm just gonna fucking school you all. Which is what happened with the game where we were in the Brigante. There's this fucking ship, and we were fighting them. We were fighting them on a raid island, and they were battling two other sloops, which were not their friends, and we were battling them, and we were Brigante. But you know what happened while we were battling?
I'm sure some errant fireballs went around.
No, the Megalodon showed up.
Shut up.
So we're doing a raid. We're fighting two other sloops. By the way, there was a storm going on at the time, so visibility was hella low. And then the fucking Meg shows up.
So can I guess what was said over the chat?
Oh, I was like, everybody brace. Brock was cool about it. But here's what Daniel said. Oh my god, it's a motherfucking giant shark!
Oh, I forgot Daniel has never seen it.
Yeah, it was priceless. It was like, no! He was just screaming in the mic. He's like, no! Oh, but the best part, though...
Did you guys kill it?
The best part, though, was the Meg. We shot it a couple times, and then it veered off and went towards the galleon, which everybody was fighting. And this was the galleon that had the flag raised so everybody in the fucking world could see it. So we were battling them for a straight, 2 hours. Like,
Wow.
it was a siege. Fucking huge windstorm is going on. Oh, and by the way, a thing that I guess they claimed was a fix that was always supposed to have been in the game, even at launch, was so during a storm, your bells ring.
You what?
Your bells, you know how there's bells?
Yeah.
Yeah, so during the crazy huge windstorms with the lightning and the rain, your
Uh-huh.
bells ring to notify others of your location within the storm.
That's fun.
Like as another risk reward thing, like, you know, when you're trying to find people or if you're trying to lose someone in the storm, and then, you know, you can like point with the sound whoring, like, oh, they're due northeast.
Oh,
I
so you
hear
hear
the
the
dinging.
dun.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's based on the way the wind is blowing and flowing and stuff. Yeah. So that's the thing. So then yeah, we didn't win the siege. Basically, the 2 sloops got destroyed by either the storm or the galleon or us. And then their galleon basically shipwreck crashed onto the pirate island or the skull fort. The Megalodon was still out there attacking both our Brigante and the galleon.
No, what kind of Megalodon was it? Because I know there's different types of Megalodons now, right?
Okay, so this was last week. They only had the regular Meg.
Oh.
Okay. I'll get to last night's story in a minute. And so we crash into their ship. We jump aboard their ship because we're like, man, this galleon's gotta be close to dead. I run downstairs. They have no wood to repair their ship. I'm like, what the fuck? How are they still afloat? We kill a couple of their guys. They kill our guys. We get outgunned, unfortunately. And then, sadly, they manage to loot the fucking pirate fort. We respawn in a ship. They still have their stupid fucking "here we are in the world, everybody come get us" thing. And then we engage in another battle around some sea outpost where we're fighting them. We're shooting our guys over into the outpost to try to steal their loot that they're offloading from the pirate fort, while we're both circling the island fighting each other. It was madness. It was madness.
Absolutely.
It didn't go well.
Oh, sounds fun.
I think we got like 2 of their chests, maybe. But
it's 2 they didn't get though.
That's true. That's true. But it was definitely we were all like super like hyped and angry and whatnot and stuff, and like it was madness. But it was a lot of good fun. And one thing that sucked about that though was we had a lot of cursed balls, but basically, and it's changed since 3 days ago, since this new update, which is thank God. So when they originally added cursed balls, it just goes into your inventory and you have to like manually select them in your inventory to load them into the cannon.
Okay, so they were a separate consumable?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds terrible.
So, you know, like you had like your wheel and then you had your ball and your banana and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to go into a grid menu, Destiny or No Man's Sky style, and select it.
Ooh.
But that's fine. They fixed that. That's totally fixed and different now. So now let me tell you about last night's venture, right? So last night we're in a sloop. The first thing I noticed, again, getting back, kind of coming full circle here, is the new radial cannonball menu. So when you're on a cannonball, like you're actually or a cannon, and you're moving the cannon, you're aiming it. All you got to do is hold down the left bumper, and you get basically a weapon wheel, and you can just flick your stick to any of the cannonballs. So regular, cursed, whatever. I'm really glad to see that they changed that so fast. You know, it only took a couple of months to change. Like, that's really good because it was really cumbersome. Like, on the one hand, like, you know, because you know how Sea of Thieves kind of weirdly walks that line between like realistic but fantasy, you know? Because it's like, a dinging bell in a rainstorm that makes total realistic sense versus, let's throw salt water on the plant to hydrate it. Not realistic at all, you know? So they got a radial menu now. It's very amazing. I mean, it sounds like such a simple thing, but it wasn't there before. Super easy to get into. It's awesome.
Okay.
So anyway, me and Daniel, we're in a sloop, and we were fighting these ghost pirates, which he'd never fought before. So he's like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, like the undead pirates, like a skeleton ship.
No. We were doing a quest.
Okay. Okay, that one.
The
Order
captains.
of Souls.
Yeah, that's the one. The Order of Souls. We're doing an Order of Souls quest. We're shooting stuff, and we hear this different music, and I'm like, I don't know what that music means,
Mm-hmm.
because he knows what the music is with the Meg. It's that kind of jazzy, eerie music until it jumps up out of the water and bites your ass.
Yeah, like there is a music change.
Yeah, but we hear this different music, and it's like spooky.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know what
That is.
I don't know what that music means, Daniel. And so we finish or we get the skulls onto our ship. We set sail.
Mm-hmm.
It's the middle of night, and this music starts getting louder, kind of like how it gets louder at a raid fort. And I'm like, what does that mean? It can't be good. Is it the game broken? Is it a glitch? What's happening? And he's like, well, don't you know everything? I was like, I don't know what new stuff's in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we look to our right, and we see like this thing that looks like you know how you can kind of see the waves part a little bit if the Meg's under the water.
Yeah, like the top of the fin's about to cut.
Yeah, so we see that, but we see no fin. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And he's like, is it the Meg? And then this fucking ghost pirate ship bursts out of the water, just like fucking Davy Jones' ship in Pirates of the Caribbean. It's got fucking glowing fucking cursed cannonballs all lined up. It's a fucking galleon-sized class fucking ship. There's a fucking crazy-looking pirate captain on board. There's people hanging from the fucking ropes, Pirates of the Caribbean style, and there's fucking skeletons running everywhere. And the ship has like torn sails and like fucking holes in the fucking hull. And we're like, oh, fuck. And they like just start laying siege into our tiny little sloop. And we're like, oh, shit. And they fire a anchor ball at us and a jig ball. And so we're dancing. Our anchor's thrown down, and it starts to make an anchor turn to like come about at another attack. And we're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And I've never fought a ghost ship before, so I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. And so they fucking ram us. We take a shit ton of damage. We repair. We start getting underway. We start attacking the ship back and forth. We're getting fucking killed, but we're still staying in the fight. And then I hear Daniel scream, oh my god, it's a different colored Meg! And I look to the right of the ship, like this ghost ship's on the left of our ship at this point. I look to the right, and there's this totally different looking Meg. It's got like 6 fins. It's got angry red eyes and like lava coming out of its mouth. And I go, oh, cool. Fuck.
It's a lava shark.
Yeah, it's a lava shark. And it just fucking stomps right into our fucking sloop. And we get like wasted right then and there. And we're like, oh shit, that was nuts. That was super. So
you're telling me that they made Sea of Thieves fun?
I'm telling you, they made like there's more shit going on moment to moment. Like the easy peasy lulls where you're just sailing and everything looks beautiful, but you're not really doing anything. Yeah, good luck finding those again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in addition, there's 3 classes of ghost ships now. So there's a ghost ship that will appear on the actual map and will also have, like, how there's the skeleton fort cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a ghost ship cloud that will appear, and it's got kind of like a red glow around it, and that's basically a raid tier ghost ship.
Oh my god! So if you're really good in ship-to-ship combat, you could just do that.
Yeah. So the other thing is random ghost regular galleons, I guess, can just fucking appear at any time, anywhere in the world. Just like how now there's 7 different types of Megs. They can appear anywhere in the world. I haven't seen the Kraken in a while, but the Kraken can appear anywhere in the world now and can damage the sloop now. And I guess it's got a new slap attack. So it can like slap your ship or slaps like a player off of their boat.
Jesus Christ.
They've
can just come about and slap you off out of your boat.
Yeah. They've got a ghost sloop, too, that can appear at any time. The ghost pirate ships appear in both aggressive and passive variety, which is very interesting. So speaking of passive, so me and Daniel were doing another quest after that, and we were on a small island, also doing another Order of the Souls quest, but we're like in between like giant big rocks, like in the sea, like one of those like rocky places.
Yeah, the outcroppings.
Yeah, and so we're in the middle of doing this quest, and it's nighttime, and a fucking ghost galleon just comes out of nowhere. Like he didn't come out of the water, he just sailed around the rock. And we're like, oh shit, it's another ghost galleon, but it doesn't fire on us. And we're like, what? That's weird. We actually had to like Google it, and we're like, oh, there's passive ones. And so I was like, okay, well, if it's passive, maybe we can do something. So he cannon shoots me over to the passive ghost ship. They of course get a little aggressive once you get on board, but it was like, I guess it was like low level, like it was like the ghost captain was like an actual ghost skeleton, and then the rest of his crew was like regular white skeletons with blue bandana. So I think that's the lowest tier. And like I'm aboard the ship and I'm like fighting them, and like I'm running below deck. And so first of all, ghost ships have like 4 fucking decks, and their layout is way different than the galleon. So it's like, okay, I'm in total foreign territory. Skeletons are chasing me. I'm like battling them off. And I managed to run all the way down through all 4 levels to their bottom hold. And there's like fucking 6 chests there. And they're like good level. And I'm like, oh, motherfuck. You know, and I like go to grab one, and then like 10 skeletons come down the fucking ramp. And I'm like, I'm fucking done. And so in the middle of this, like I die, I respawn. And I'm like, okay, well, we're probably not getting the loot from that passive ship. Like, we need more guys, or you need to be attacking them, like distracting them while I'm like stealing their loot or something. Mm-hmm. And then, God damn it, I'm still really mad about this. And then we're bringing regular skulls back onto our ship, and then a fucking pirate legend, like real player pirate legend, fucking walks up out of our hold. Fucking shotgun blasts Daniel. Kills him, and I'm like, fuck. I'm sword battling with him, and then as I'm sword battling with him, his fucking crew's galleon comes around the corner, and it is the coolest player galleon I have ever seen in Sea of Thieves. It has fucking glowing demonic sails. It's got barnacles on the hull. Its fucking cannons have so there's cannon, ship wheel, and anchor cosmetics now, which answers your question about there's more customizational options. And their fucking cannons have tentacles wrapped around them. Their wheels got the fucking Kraken eye on it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know? And then they go to town and just fucking completely rape and pillage and destroy us. So yeah, Sea of Thieves. It's a thing. And do you know why I didn't see their giant fucking galleon coming? Yeah, so there's like a crazy bunch of new stuff in Sea of Thieves. Oh, I didn't mention the other thing. So the other thing was they added a bunch of new, like, you find them on the beach quests.
Okay.
That have
like the books and stuff.
Yeah, things like that, but like you have different steps to them than you would normally get on a voyage. For example, like there's one that's like go to this island, talk to something piratey name, keep a pig and like a fern alive until you can meet with Blah on Blah Island at this time. And then there's other things like like collect this many like bananas or cannonballs, or deliver 6 cursed cannonballs of this type to Blah. Different things with different items in the world. And then the other thing that they added is, so they have mermaid statues.
Yeah.
So I guess mermaid statues were in the game back when we were playing, but I guess we never...
remember? No, we've seen one.
Yeah. Well, so I guess they have 3 different gems in them now. Okay. And I guess they are worth like the most of anything in the whole game, and they appear randomly, but they're like a puzzle statue. So, for example, so Daniel found a blue one, and when he got near it, it started hurting him. But then after he attacked it with his gun and its sword, it like shattered, and he was able to get a gem. But then we found a red statue later, and we just thought we would attack it again and stuff. And it kept hurting us too as we got near it, like damage over time. And so we pulled our ship around, and I shot, I kid you not, 30 fucking cannonballs at this thing, and it didn't crack and release its gem. And like we Googled it, and like I guess different statues you have to do different things for. Like do a jig in front of, or eat like 5 bananas. Like they've got like different mystery requirements that you have to figure out. And I was like, oh, interesting. But I guess they're like worth like fucking like 50,000 gold or something obscenely crazy like that.
Bananas.
Yeah, literally bananas.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so Sea of Thieves is and really cool. And something I was gonna say right before you cut out there was the reason we didn't see that pirate legend come around was because of the new fog that's in the game.
Oh.
Which is part of the thing. So it was nighttime and there was fog rolling in.
Oh, so he just crept in like a bandit.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we didn't even see a giant fucking galleon behind our sloop until it was too late. So it was actually pretty cool. Like it looked scary. Like it just kind of like came out of the fog.
Yeah.
Like they did a really good job with their I mean, you've seen how good their waves and their clouds and shadows and stuff are in that game. But their fog like rolls in, and it's like,
oh shit.
I don't know how to describe it really. Like it's not like video game fog where it's like, like the old video games where it's like the fog is disguising the fact that they can't process that much data, and that kind of like fade pops in new objects. It's not that kind of thing. It's like realistic fog, I guess. Because like when you're in it, like things look foggy, like it looks a little hazy. Like I don't know how else to describe it to you other than it looks kind of realistic. Like you would expect fog.
Has depth?
Yeah, it has depth instead of just, oh, shit's hazy. It's like, oh, it's yeah.
It's hanging thick outside.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then the other thing is, so the ghost pirate ships, you can't tell if it's a regular ship until you get close enough to it. So from a distance, it's like,
they look like regular ships.
Yeah, they look like regular ships until you get too close. Which is kind of interesting because it's like, oh, could be a player galleon. And then you get closer, and then, you start to see that like its sails are tattered or whatever. You're like, oh, shit. Abort?
Turn around, back it up.
Yeah, back it up.
Real slow.
Anchor turn, back it up.
Anchor turn.
Go south.
On my word.
Yeah, so
I get super into that game. I get unhealthily into it.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like it's they're doing really good with their updates and their content. And they actually said that that's going to be the last content for the year, but they actually just had a dev blog saying that their goal next year is to double the content that is already in the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's their 2019 goal, apparently. And their plan is little stuff in between big expansions and then big expansions every couple of months. So yeah, it's pretty legit. Like if you launched it right now, like it's starting to feel like, like, I mean, it looks similar, but it's kind of like that same way in No Man's Sky, where it's like, if you compare No Man's Sky now to how vanilla No Man's Sky was, they're basically unrecognizable. Like, their menus are kind of similar, but it's like, oh my god, there's all this shit, and it doesn't quite look the same, and there's all these new things. So it's really cool. It's really cool what they're doing on Sea of Thieves. I think you would really dig all of the new shit, to be honest. So one of those days, maybe towards Christmas. Do you get more time off around Christmas, Mike?
No.
No, you get same thing. That sucks.
I don't even have Christmas Eve off.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sucks. We gotta go in at 4, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna feed you." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck about your food. You have funnel cake, because that's the only thing that's gonna make me happy right now, cocksucker."
I'm sorry, man.
Well,
sorry. we should still arrange to get a gallon together, because I think you'll dig the new stuff. I really do.
We'll see.
Yeah. What's your consideration, man?
Black Armory.
Okay. But I mean, it's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
You can't always get a crew together of a galleon. Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
I mean, depending on the day, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. Let's see. So we're still on video game stuff. Well, as we've said at the Forking Year podcast, we don't do religion or politics, period, unless it interferes in one of the topics of our show, like video games. And I think I even laid out the specific example in our rules on our Discord. Like if our government does some weird shit to our video games that will affect our day-to-day video games. So, turns out, government's going to do some weird shit to affect our day-to-day in video games.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be really good, but it also could be disastrous as well. This is kind of how I'm viewing things. So, the big hot topic that's going on right now in the video game industry is that loot box mechanics in video games are under official investigation by the FTC. FTC is Federal Trade Commission, for those who don't know. So essentially, the argument is basically taking into consideration how the mechanics of loot boxes are or are not gambling that children can access. Yeah. So I think, and this is interesting, because wasn't it like a year ago we heard loot boxes of Overwatch were investigated in Hawaii? I think it was. Sounds about right. Yeah. And they had ruled that it was gambling, and then Blizzard changed their code or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I don't. Yeah. Where do you stand on that?
So I have a conflicted loot box thing, basically.
Okay.
I feel, because here's how I look at it. Loot boxes are and for those who don't know, which it'd suck if you didn't know, poor fam, sorry. Essentially, a loot box in a video game is a package of digital goods or items or things to collect that is randomized, and you pay real money to get said loot box.
Things like a chest of paladins.
Yeah, maybe like a chest and paladins, but I was going to go way simpler, something that everybody can relate to. I think most people in our Fork fam have played a game or two of Magic the Gathering or the Pokemon card game. Yeah? Remember those card packs, the booster packs you'd get
that's gambling.
at the stores?
Yeah.
So, and it was what, a pack of 10 cards or something?
Yeah.
And that shit's allegedly random from the company? Or they're like, oh, we've produced so many of block cards and so many of this kind, and so many of this kind. And that's what's out this season. That's how you would typically say for a trading card. But what you get in one is completely random. So I feel from that perspective of a trading card game, if what the maker of the trading card game or video game in this case is actually legitimately true, like, for example, I think in video games it would be the drop rate, the percentage in which it might be possible for you to attain said item. So, like if a video game developer is like, oh, the awesome super laser gun of Doom has a 5% drop rate every time you pony up $1.99 and you get a collection of 5 items. If they are not lying about that, I feel that that's okay if you want to do that, as long as in that loot box it's obtainable by some other in-game method in which you don't have to pay money for.
I would say, so like,
yeah.
What about like an exclusive skin? Like I can never get. We'll use Warframe. I can never get like Excalibur Prime because I wasn't around. So
yeah,
if they came out with a box that said you get Excalibur Prime, a Sedana, a skin for one of his weapons, for this, you have no problem with that.
I have no problem with that. I have no problem.
But you have a problem with if that's in a box that could possibly, like the parts for that, let's just say using Warframe, are available in a box, but it's only supposed to be like 0.9% of the time.
Yeah, here's where I have a problem. So, video game items that you can purchase on a store for real money and you can't obtain it anywhere else, such as skins, voice packs, or anything cosmetic that doesn't affect gameplay, I feel is totally okay to charge a reasonable minimum amount of money for.
I agree.
And I think that's fine because it's like those who don't have the money or don't give a shit, they don't have to buy it. It's a total vote with your wallet situation. But here's, and sorry, I'm going to bring up Destiny because it was a true thing. Destiny 1. Everybody knows that Hawkmoon was exclusive to PlayStation for like 3 fucking years before Xbox.
It was like a year.
So, yeah, that's not a loot box. But in that scenario, it's like a whole legion of players are unable to get a really good weapon unless they bought the PlayStation version. I feel like that is...
You have an issue with that?
I have an issue with that.
I do not.
Really? Why not? What if...
console is cool.
If fucking they announced, like, what's your favorite gun in Destiny 1?
I'm about to say that's just what happened in COD forever. COD originally, it was like Xbox had exclusive rights for the longest time for maps and guns, like the Peacekeeper.
Yeah,
there's no problem to that. You know what I mean? Like that's just something. That's what the cost of doing business, baby.
I mean, you're not wrong as well.
If you want to play PlayStation and not own 2 consoles, That's fully your right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, fair play. You guys got that one because you got a hold of the maps.
Yep.
Or you could pony up, buy the system, and play the game on the console that has the rights to exclusive content first.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens Destiny and Activision technically now are with PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not upset about that because everyone knows that's just what happens. Sea of Thieves is only on Xbox. If I didn't,
okay. So here's
the
distinction for that. Sea of Thieves is made and produced by a Microsoft-owned studio. Microsoft can do whatever the fuck it wants with Sea of Thieves. If they wanted to put it on fucking PlayStation tomorrow, they could, but they don't want to because they want people to buy their product. Right?
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is available on any PC that can run Windows 10 and meets the requirements, and all Xbox One consoles. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the more we talk about it, the more we can start sort of divvying up the things that are and are not acceptable, and it kind of comes down to the person.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a highly conversational topic for sure. Like, you're going to talk about it because everybody's going to be different.
Sure, absolutely.
Like, I don't care about console exclusives. It's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care because I have all the consoles. But
yeah, if you didn't, would you care?
I mean, probably. I mean, let's put it this way. If I hadn't gone as hard into PlayStation as I have this generation, because for those who don't know, I was Xbox last generation. I picked up a PS3 when Metal Gear Solid 4 came out for that game because it was exclusive. But I wasn't mad about it because at the time, Metal Gear Solid was always on PlayStation. You fucking could not get that shit on any other console, period. End of discussion. Same as fucking Final Fantasy at the time. It's always on PlayStation, except for the earlier games which were on Nintendo. If, we rolled it back to like E3 2014, 15 or whatever, and I didn't have a PlayStation 4 and that Spider-Man trailer hit, I would lose my goddamn mind because I'd be like, why the fuck is it exclusive to PlayStation? Now, logically, I know that it can be exclusive to PlayStation because Sony owns the fucking rights to Spider-Man. Full stop, with the exception of the comic book. Like, that's just the way the cookie crumbles on that one, Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, from their perspective, it's like, of course, the best Spider-Man video game ever is exclusive to PlayStation 4. Period. If you want it, you got to come there and get it. Mm-hmm. So if I'd seen that and I didn't have a PlayStation, yeah, I'd be hella mad. Just like there's tons of people who were mad that it wasn't coming to Xbox as well. But because it's that character and it was that developer and it was that level of, them showing off, this is going to be the best fucking Spider-Man thing you've ever fucking put your dick in, basically. And, I don't know. I probably, like, if it hadn't gone this way, I would have, if I didn't have a PlayStation 4, I would have totally probably bit the bullet. I might have waited for the game to come out and all the reviews to hit, and the reviews are like, yeah, no, you want this wet pussy. You want it.
Yeah.
It's good. Is a really, and at that point, that'd be a $450 hooker, right? Like,
yeah, about.
That's what it would be. But, yeah. So, but then going back to the issue at hand here with them being investigated, the FTC, I think whatever they ultimately find or force video game companies to do can be a good or it can be a catastrophic thing. So on the good, I think it could force video game developers to legally, drop rate is blah for this. Drop rate is blah for this. Yes, it has to be that way. Yes, it's fucking approved by someone, and we're not being fucking scumbags like EA's Battlefront 2, which is probably the most famous loot box controversial thing since loot boxes have been a thing in video games. So for those who don't know, that fucking clusterfuck, the video game developers did not want to put loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2. However, DICE, who makes the game, is a wholly owned subsidiary of EA. EA said, put fucking loot boxes in it and make characters like Yoda and Darth Vader cost either 150 real fucking dollars to get a booster pack so that they can unlock them on their $60 game that they bought already, or make them grind 400 real hours to get them with a real currency because the drop rates were so low. As everybody knows, the tale goes, it was such a clusterfuck at launch, and the fan outcry was so bad that Bob Iger, president of Disney, called up whoever the fuck the president is of EA and was like, yo, what the fuck is this shit that I'm hearing about? And he's like, oh, well, we did this, this, this. And fucking Disney president was like, fucking cut it out. Or we're going to take the fucking Star Wars license from you. Full stop.
Knock it off.
You know? And then they basically turned off that feature for the game, and they had to spend a whole fucking 6 months working on a different system to replace that system that wasn't them being greedy fucking scumbags, evil corporation of doom. So in that sense, I feel that could, if the FTC is like, yes, they all have to be fair. In that sense, for the current existing games or games that are coming down the pipe, my concern of it being catastrophic is like the littler game studios that have loot boxes. Like I'm talking your cell phone games, or like maybe, there's an indie game that has some kind of thing where you got a random roll element, and I feel it could significantly hurt them. Not from a perspective of like, yes, it's enforcing like an ethics of, be fucking fair to your consumer, and here are the laws now on how to be fair to your consumer. And I feel like you would probably see shit like fucking Farmville. Not that I like Farmville or anything like that. I feel like you would see games like that, at least in the United States. They would, go out of business or be shuttered overnight. Because that's how those there are a number of games that are free to play. You download it, and then they get you to play it, and then you want to play it, and then you have to pony up money to either keep playing or whatever. I feel those games are definitely predatory, and they deserve this coming. But here's my but on it is, I want everybody to win. Like I don't want to see fucking video game developers that make a good game, regardless of, if you have to put money in for it or not. Like if it's a good game, like I don't want to see that developer close because they fucking, or at least one person or, the finance department decided they had to be greedy with the game.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about an industry that's like hundreds of billions of dollars a year, right? And I would bet your ass that, they're, these developers who make all this money, like, yeah, they get all their money from that stuff. And yeah, maybe it's predatory. And yeah, that's kind of evil. But at the same time, like, I worry about the people who are like the fucking art designer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's not fair to them to be punished because, it's like if you work in a company and you find out like all your bosses are serial killers and then everybody goes to jail for it. Like, that's not fair. Like, how would you have known,
Yeah.
Like, that's where I kind of get a little gray and a little mixed feelings about it, because it's like, I like video game developers. I've met a bunch of them at PAX and stuff like this. You know, I don't want to see them fucking job. You know, I don't want them to be like fucking Telltale Games. One day they're out on a job, and they're fucking out of a job and they can't go anywhere. And they move their fucking families and they're just totally fucked. You know, like I want games and game developers to like live, essentially. You know, and it's like, again, and you can go ahead and hate me for it, but it's like Bungie. I know on some level, some of the shit and choices that they've made over the last few years is a result of their Activision overlords. You know, I don't want to fucking see any of those guys go or whatever, because they're obviously enormously talented developers. And at the end of the day, they just want to make a kick-ass game too. You know? And yeah, there's also the other aspect of here's actually a great point. So I read this article. I don't think I talked about it last week. Did I talk about the Ubisoft president on loot boxes last week?
No, I don't believe you did.
Okay, so Yves Guillemot, who's the president of Ubisoft, people have probably seen him around on the E3 press conferences. French dude, but he is one of the rare people who's a president of a fucking company who is a no bullshit, tell you like it is, fucking swearing and everything person. So he gave an interview last week. It was to like, it was like IGN or Polygon or something like that. And they were asking him specifically about the FTC about to begin this investigation. And he literally straight up said in the fucking interview, he was like, "Oh, I fucking hate loot boxes." And he's the president of Ubisoft, and Ubisoft, unfortunately, is one of the companies who is definitely they're loot box crazy in their games. Like any of the Assassin's Creed games, the recent years, tons of loot boxes. There's loot boxes in the game that I like, fucking Starlink, you know, that just came out. There's fucking loot boxes in, you know, there's loot boxes in their shit, you know?
Yeah.
Period. And he literally said, like, I fucking hate loot boxes. He's like, if it were up to me, I would get rid of loot boxes. And then they're like, well, but aren't you the president? Why don't you? And he's like, oh, yeah, I would get rid of loot boxes in a heartbeat. He's like, but here's the reality. I have 900 employees all across the world. And since we dabbled in loot boxes and it started making us like, I forget the figure, but like a shit ton of money every month, I'm like, oh, this is how we can grow our company. You know, he's like, I've got 900 mouths to feed, and all they have mouths to feed too. He's like, it's business. And he's like, if I were a consumer and I could control the consumer mind, I would literally tell every consumer to just stop paying for loot boxes. And as a company, we'll have to figure out some fucking other way to make money. And I was like, oh, that is a really legit thing to say.
Yeah.
You know? And it also makes sense because you get the reality there of like, yeah, that's why everybody's doing it, you know, because they've got fucking people to pay and a business to run. And it's just, like you said, the cost of doing business. And so it kind of comes right back down to a thing that Colin Moriarty, former IGN employee and Colin's Last Stand guy, is famous for saying in this particular matter with video games industry is vote with your wallet. And when you vote with your wallet, you know, if enough people vote, you know, no, I'm not going to buy that, then the industry changes. And so unfortunately, enough people have voted with their wallet that loot boxes are here. And they're probably here to stay. But they may have to be regulated by the federal government, which is kind of insane when you think about it. All right, that's my fucking soapbox. What else you got to say about that?
I mean, I understand their point, and I'm okay with it because, like you've said, if I'm an adult and I have the extra income and I want to buy a gun skin, I'm gonna buy a fucking gun skin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and your point when they were so ingrained in gaming, yeah, goddamn right, they're ingrained in gaming.
Yeah,
it just makes sense because if you like it, if you like their product, you're gonna want to customize your experience as much as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like going to get frozen yogurt. You just get regular vanilla yogurt. Oh, I mean, I know you don't. That was a bad reference. Bad, that was a bad metaphor. I apologize. But you know what I mean? Like that's what it would. It's like not customizing your burger.
Yeah.
Like you just want a cheeseburger? No, no one just wants a plain ass cheeseburger. You gonna put anything on it? Not just cheese in the burger. No. You know, I want lettuce, tomato, a little bit of mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Customization is the key. Like
throw that bacon on there, put some fucking onion rings on there.
Come
on,
A1 sauce. Get it on there. Goddamn right. French fries.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
Exactly.
Oh, you want to make the buns
brioche?
Like pan fried Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh.
I've had that with an egg on it. Oh my god.
Have you really?
Yeah. You don't put egg. You don't put a fried egg on your burger.
No, I mean the donut burger part.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It had a honey whiskey barbecue sauce on it.
Oh, get fucking out of here. This is not fair, Mike, because I'm actually really hungry. Like all I've had is that bagel that I mentioned. So fuck you, good sir. I want a fucking donut burger now. God damn you.
It was out of this world. I mean, it was also like $12, but it was out of this world.
Oh fuck, that's nothing for a good burger. $12 ain't nothing.
No.
Ain't nothing.
So my dude was like, "It'll be $12." I'm like, "Yeah." It was also big as shit too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Nice.
It was like they got I don't know if they worked a special deal out with their local Krispy Kreme to just have like bigger ones, but picture like bear claw length but round.
Yeah, I want it. I want it, Mike.
It was incredible.
I want a fucking donut burger now. God damn you!
I mean, you can do it yourself. You can do it at home.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is though, I can't have the donut, Mike. Donut poison to me. I want it, but it poison. That's the thing. I want that goddamn poisonous donut burger.
I'll deal with the diarrhea.
Oh, it's not diarrhea, man. That's not what happens. No. I would, man, if all I got was diarrhea, I would fucking deal with diarrhea, Mike. But that's not what happens. Worse things happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've gotten into it before. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I'm sure we have.
So, in a surprise move, Nintendo has lifted it. Well, first of all, it ended its quote-unquote creators program. And if you don't know what that is, essentially, you have to sign a bunch of fucking contracts if you want to stream Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of bullshitty. Some people do them. Some of the bigger YouTubers do them and still do them, and they're fine. But they're straight up, the program's over. And so now they have new rules in place, interestingly, just in time for Smash Brothers, so that creators can now make videos and monetize those videos that contain Nintendo content. For the first time ever, they're letting us do this without some crazy hoops. And so here's their concession, though. And honestly, it makes sense. So here's what it is. Nintendo is letting free license to make long videos or short videos involving live streaming or YouTube-like Nintendo content, as long as it is creative input and commentary style content. As long as you're not just reposting gameplay trailers or tournaments, you'll be able to monetize your work.
Okay.
And that seems actually pretty fair to me, right?
Yeah.
So I guess perhaps a quote-unquote loophole to that would be like a trailer reaction video. You know, because you're providing commentary for it. You know, versus like, oh, I just took this video from the Nintendo channel and I've now posted it on my channel. And then, you know, that goes in the search engine and people get that. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense 100%. To me. Speaking of that, on the other end of that stick, and I might have mentioned this last week, so I apologize. Sometimes I forget, folks. These weeks. It's holidays. Shit's busy. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate arguably the hottest Nintendo game this season, for sure. The full fucking game leaked onto the dark web last week. And first of all, it's surprising because Nintendo games don't leak. Like, anybody heard of a Nintendo game leaking? Ever?
Nope.
Exactly. Nope. Exactly. You know,
Nintendo games don't leak.
Yeah. So the whole fucking real game leaked.
Oh,
And there was about 6 different YouTubers who played it all week and made like hundreds of hours of video content ready to launch, like on day 1 of YouTube, or day 1 of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate being live, right? And, you know, I think we can all get it. Like, if you're a YouTuber, it's like, okay, being first is a big thing. It's definitely a big part of the game. You know, that's why you see people who do these reaction trailers to popular movies at like fucking 3 a.m. their time, because that's when it's popped up, and they're like, okay, I guess gotta get my ass out of bed and do a reaction video. Pop some coffee. You know. So Nintendo found out about this. I'm not entirely sure how. My understanding is they have a particularly unique relationship with YouTube, apparently. And they straight up completely iced those 6 accounts forever for the history of the universe from YouTube. So there are like 6 high-profile Nintendo creators that ain't gonna be around next week. I mean, yeah, but to be fair, I mean, it is kind of on them. They got a stolen product, installed it onto a modded Nintendo Switch, captured video in hopes of being first, and then Nintendo found out about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess that might be that's different, because you got a modded product to get ahead, you know?
Well, and they got the game for free, you know?
That's true.
I mean, Nintendo don't play with that.
Yeah.
You know? And really, what video game developer would?
Yeah.
You know? Especially if it's not out. That's the thing. That's the big thing. You know? If it's not out, you know, it's like one thing when there's like, you know, like a private beta or whatever, or something like that, and somebody has access to it and they do something with it that they shouldn't. But this is straight up like someone stole a copy, modded it to be downloadable online for like Switches that are hacked, and, you know, threw it on the literal dark web. It's nuts. It's nuts when you really think about it. So,
the literal dark web.
Yeah, I know. So, I've been reading and watching a lot of videos about this, and I'm sure you have some things to say about this, since you still want the product. So, Bethesda Games, they can just not catch a break lately. So, for those who've been following the story, Fallout 76 launched early November, and it was, to put it gently, there was a bit more bugs than the usual launch of a Bethesda game. And it's gotten so bad that they have started issuing refunds to anybody who bought it on PC, full refunds. But they can't, for some reason, issue refunds to people who bought the console versions. And fans are in an uproar because they can't get a refund for $76 for the console version, and Bethesda's compensation is, I guess, 500 pieces of some kind of in-game currency thing, which costs real money. But it's like, I don't have the game, but from what I've heard from articles and both 2 of my friends who have been playing it, 500 of this particular currency is not even equatable in real world dollars to like the $60 that they put in the game, and that the currency is garbage in the game anyway because it's buggy. So people are pissed about that.
Jesus Christ.
The Fallout 76 $200 Power Armor Edition, everybody's super mad about that because people were promised a hang on a second, I have to read the thing so I get the right
power armor helmet.
Well, I guess the helmet's okay, but they were promised a canvas West Tech duffel bag. Everybody in the YouTube community in unboxing videos has discovered that the duffel bag in question is not canvas, but a cheap, poorly constructed nylon replacement. Nylon is not the same material as canvas. Canvas is more expensive. And nylon is super cheap and abundant. And Bethesda's response to those who have complained is to offer them $5 of in-game currency to make up for it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're sorry.
Yeah. Fallout 76 developer has promised that they are hard at work to fix the myriad of bugs with it. With 76. I was listening to a podcast last night. Actually, Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast from Colin Moriarty and his new co-host, Chris Raygun. And Chris Raygun is a Fallout fan through and through. He seems to exhibit the same kind of enthusiasm for it as you do, Mike. And he has said, actually, that yes, the game is actually really fun to play. And he thinks it's actually a really good Fallout game. His caveat, however, is that the level of bugs is way beyond a normal Bethesda product. And, you know, he said he'd equate it to this. Yeah, I'm having fun, I'm cooling stuff, I'm getting stuff. Oh, the game crashed. That's not cool. And he's also playing it on PlayStation.
Might wait a couple patch cycles for that one.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that one, buddy. So he said his biggest problem is the game straight crashes, and that there are certain areas of the map that you just can't go to because the frame rate drops below 20 frames a second.
Ugh.
And he's playing on a standard PlayStation. So he says he thinks Chris Reagan of Sacred Symbols podcast, Colin Moriarty, claims that the game is definitely fun and it's definitely very Fallout-y, with the exception of where they've changed some things because obviously it's super multiplayer as well. But he said it's just it's actually funny. Do you know what he actually related it to?
What's that?
He related it to like the first couple weeks of Sea of Thieves. Remember the first couple weeks of Sea of Thieves? And it was super awesome. And then we'd get disconnected. And then,
hey, where you at, buddy? Why is the ship flying?
Yeah, exactly. And then unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Bethesda. I have such love for you. I want this very stated very thoroughly. I love Bethesda. Bethesda had to announce yet another bad news for the end of 2018. The very, very hotly anticipated, I even fucking pre-ordered it, Elder Scrolls Blades for consoles, cell phones, and PCs has been officially delayed to 2019. An undetermined amount of time, which is actually what they said, which really worries me. So my coworker and good buddy Brock actually had a thought that maybe this 76 thing is such a disaster that Bethesda pulled like a ship captain thing and be like, all hands on deck. We got to fix 76. And the scuttlebutt on the internet, of course, this is just rumor, is that their development efforts on both Rage 2 and maybe even Doom Eternal might slow down because everybody's pitch hitting to fix 76.
Yeah.
So we've actually had a lot of talk about 76 on our internal Fork Family Discord, which you can join by going over at Get Forked Pod on Twitter. Click the link there and join.
Also, Tim and I don't hate each other.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, we want to make this super clear. You know, me and Mike get into like air quote text fights about our various loves for games. And it can seem rather Reddit posty. Might be a good word.
I was gonna say aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive. And I do believe the term you prefer is ball buster.
Yeah,
bustery.
We're ball busting.
Bust your knuckle, using them knuckles to bust those balls.
Yeah, we're busting balls. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, but no, me and Mike are honestly, in reality, I feel like me and Mike are the best we've ever been, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know? And for the record, I love that you've been calling me on your walks, you know, like when I'm available, because we'll just shoot the shit. Or an hour.
Man.
It's those are good. Those
There's
are
also
good.
long walks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, your dog, I mean, you have like one of the most hyperactive, endless energy dogs in the world. So,
yeah,
you know,
he's sleeping now.
he needs those walks, or he's probably gonna like burrow through to China.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Fork Fam in the Discord, don't worry about me and Mike fighting. Like, we are totally fine. Everything's a-okay. I mean, we just had a total pleasant conversation about Destiny and No Man's Sky and Sea of Thieves, you know, and even though
Burning Wing was the one who brought it up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so. That he thought we were fighting?
Yeah. He said passive aggressive was the term he used.
In the moment, I suppose it feels a little passive aggressive, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I don't really have attention on it necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I would fucking call you if I was like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Are we mad about this? And you'll be like, no, hey, I was busting your balls. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a ball buster.
Here's what I think listeners of our show should take a look at. So, NoClip, who makes amazing video game documentaries, have a making of video of Fallout 76. That's
I've seen it.
Yeah, so it's a well-made documentary, right?
Yeah.
They do good works over there. They actually shot the documentary earlier in the year, and it came out in July, you know, which is well before 76's launch. And I think the thing to take from it is a couple of things. One, 76 is not in full developed by the primary Bethesda Softworks that has developed the previous Fallout 3 and 4 and Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's developed by a new studio that they purchased several years ago and is now called Bethesda, but they're operating out of Texas. And those developers are made up of former Star Wars Galaxies and Lord of the Rings Online people. I've heard Lord of the Rings Online is good. I think it closed down this year. And Star Wars Galaxies, for those who don't remember, was a giant Star Wars MMO, I think around the time of the first vanilla WoW launch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's famously one of the most overly ambitious, couldn't deliver on all of their promises MMO ever made. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist or a video game developer, and I'm sure everybody there is very talented. But given that track record, I'm not sure that's the kind of people you want working on an online Fallout.
Mm-mm.
So, I think that's what people need to take away from this kind of clusterfuck involving 76.
Yeah.
Is they shot for the moon. They had a new team, or at least a team made up of different old teams who've never made a Fallout game before, and were shepherded along by the main Bethesda Softworks in hopes to make a cool thing. You know, because if you look at the NoClip documentary, it genuinely looks like everybody is basically shooting for like their Fallout 3 New Vegas, but with multiplayer.
Yeah,
that's kind of what they're shooting for. And it seems like it's fun, but it's not. It's undercooked. So I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got to say. Do you have any video game news to cover, good sir?
No, just the Black Armory is coming to Destiny 2 on Tuesday. Cool. And we were talking about it. It's something that you could be getting back into because they are adding more Gambit maps soon. More Gambit like a new endgame Gambit activity. So it has a lot of stuff coming, man. Mark my words, you're gonna be like, looking good, Mike. Looking real good. I'm like, yeah, buddy.
I mean, I've already said just now publicly, the Black Armory update looks very interesting to me, whereas Forsaken did not. Okay, here's a couple more things that I can say about Destiny that makes me not want to dive back in yet. And they don't even necessarily have to do with the actual game itself, actually. A non-jumping in point is the fact that I would have to spend $80 to get up to speed. That's $80 that I could spend on, 2 games or a bunch of indie games.
Hold on.
Or stuff.
Hold on. You don't have, what, Osiris?
Yeah, but you see, Black Armory
is only... No, you can buy this. You don't have Forsaken.
I don't have Forsaken.
Okay, you can buy Forsaken and the Black Armory for $49 right now.
Bullshit. I'll go to the PlayStation Store right now. I'm going right now. I have my PlayStation on. I'm going to it right now.
I'm quite sure it's not $80.
I'm going right now. I'm going to type in Destiny. Okay. So, Forsaken Annual Pass, not available for purchase. I don't know what that's about. Forsaken game page. Okay, let's go there. Forsaken Legendary Collection. I'm not sure what's in it. Hang on. Is $60.
Okay.
Fucking PlayStation Store.
Okay, so it's 60.
Hang on.
My bad.
Fucking PlayStation Store fucking locked up. Oh, it crashed. It crashed. Fuck you, PlayStation Store.
It might have been because Black Friday. Because I bought my annual pass on Black Friday. So it might have been then. It might have been something like that. So.
No, shit. Did it just straight up crash my PlayStation? I have just a blue screen.
Oh, yeah. It crashed your PlayStation.
Fuck. Man, I was in the middle of doing something in No Man's Sky, too. This is not good. Yeah, I can't press my PlayStation button. Mother of fuck. This is some bullshit that just happened on the air right now. Tim is not happy. Oh, God. Do you remember how to get it into the fucking safe mode, Mike?
No.
Shit. All right, well, I guess I'm fixing this right now while I'm on the air. Hang on. Keep talking about it, Mike, or look up the stuff.
I say, Tim, we could just sign off and go, buddy.
Do you have to go?
No, I memean, we could just sign off and go so you can fix your PlayStation, pal. I think we did a long enough show. It's 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think you probably should concentrate on the situation you have before you're at the moment. So maybe that'd be the best for you.
Okay, well, we're ending the show on, I don't know what the fucking prices are. When I looked it up earlier in the week, it was going to cost me, I think it was $40 to get Forsaken, unless I bought like a used code or something somewhere. And then it was going to be $35, basically $40 to get the annual pass.
I could have swore I saw that they had a combo. You can buy everything for like, it might be $60, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway. yeah, so I guess that's the show. Do I sound weird? I'm behind the mic right now.
A little bit.
Okay. Well, apologize, folks. I'm behind the mic. I'm trying to fix my PlayStation. It's fucking weekend. I want my goddamn PlayStation working. So this is a thing. Yeah. That's a thing. We were going someplace other than just money. Oh, I was saying, I think the money is definitely something to consider for pulling me back in. And then the other thing is, I mean, I felt more positive watching the stuff for the Black Armory than I did for everything I've seen of Forsaken, you know? And I've fucking seen rain videos for Forsaken, and I'm just kind of like, you know, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't tickle whatever that Destiny thing was that used to get tickled. But if they keep doing things like the Black Armory, you know, doing these big updates and stuff like they've said that they're doing for this thing, this annual pass, which they're saying is different than the expansion pass, I may yet be brought back to it. We will see. Really, I mean, balls in Bungie's court. That's what I have to say in that matter. But until then, Smash Brothers is next Friday. I fully expect that I will be talking a lot about that next episode. Because Smash Brothers is my fucking shit, man. My fucking shit. And now it seems like I'll have a bigger group to play Smash Brothers this time with, because, you know, people actually bought the Switch and not the Wii U.
Yeah.
I had like 2 friends who bought a Wii U just for Smash, and we played the shit out of it. But yeah, we'll see. Either way, it's still a great time for video games and holiday video games. And yeah, I guess we will talk to you next week. I'm Tim K. Trotter signing off. You can find all of our stuff at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Tweet at us at GetForkedPod, and join our Discord through that Twitter link there. It's the pinned post at the top. Just click the link, and welcome to the Fork family. You can, of course, email at us, theforkinyourpodcast@gmail.com, and check out our... What would we call this? What would we call it? Our little sister? Our cousin podcast?
Check out the other show on the network, maybe?
Sure. I was trying to think of something cleverer.
Oh,
because I had to explain our other show to a friend of mine who doesn't listen to podcasts, so he doesn't get it. And he's like, "Okay, so you have 2 shows with fork in the title?" I was like, "Yeah, we just sort of ran with it."
Branding. I guess it would be like our zombie Trojan horse little sister.
Yeah, I like that. Because I see what you did there. We're getting to that episode
And if the
soon.
listeners listen, they would too.
Not this week's episode, but next week's episode. I think that happens.
Wow.
In our weird delayed timeline. But yes.
Yeah, because we're episodes ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, the bottom line is, if you like actual play RPG podcasts, check out The Fork in Your Path, an actual play RPG podcast, in which Mike is currently GMing, and we're going through this ridiculous campaign in which I play just a terrible British drunken whore.
Well, hold on. You can't say it's my fault. You chose to play Dolores.
I didn't say it was your
here's
fault.
Your character.
I said you're playing GM. And then I'm playing a terrible person.
Misunderstood.
Yeah, that's right. All villains are misunderstood.
He's misunderstood.
Exactly. All right. You want to sign off, buddy?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. You can find me on PSN, BlisterLister113. I'm also on Xbox with the same name as my Twitter. If you like listening to me talk about Destiny and other shit like, you know, that we randomly go into, check me out on the RNG Cast. At the RNG Cast on Twitter. You can find us wherever you find your podcasts. Shazam.
Oh, fuck my stick.
What?
So it says it had a power failure. The PlayStation.
Oh.
What the fuck? Is my thing okay? Did my PlayStation just die? Oh no.
Oh no.
This is not good, Mike.
This is catastrophic.
I don't like this. This is not good. I'm gonna have to get back to you.
Yeah, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right,
Bye.
dude. See ya.
We are cut out. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99.
Go, Tim.
Hey,
What's up, buddy?
sorry about that.
No problem. No problem at all.
Whew, it is nipply outside. Whew,
Yeah.
super cold. Had fucking. Anyway, I'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, man.
We got a time constraint this week.
A what?
Time constraint?
I mean, we're good. It's like 4:30. Probably like 6:45, 6ish will be fine. 6:30. In there, like a normal show.
Okay, cool. Just asking because I'm a bit late.
No problem.
Okay, cool.
Got Pete. He's chilling. So,
Sweet.
Petey, what are you looking at? Dickhead.
That's there. Alright, this is silenced. Okay. Oh, yeah, I haven't done this in a while. I gotta make sure my watch is silent. Okay.
So much. I love you so much. I do. I do. Yeah, you're my homie.
Alright. You ready?
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. Cut in! Mike? Mike? Did we lose you? Buddy? Mike? Uh-oh. We might have lost Mike, everybody. I guess that's a cut!
That buddy, I had a personal call. Jess just called me. She needed something.
Oh, she okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Repeat, what you chewing on?
Just messes the chat next time, man.
Well, she just called the phone, so I just got up and grabbed it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, alrighty. Cool. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cut in!